All right, new business, payment of bills.
Want to get the resolution first, and then Scott can answer the questions?
Yep.
Resolved, the Board of Education Township High School District 208, Cook County, Illinois hereby approves the payment of bills as presented and listed in the September 12, 2017 Board Agenda Packet.
Second.
All right.
Scott, what questions do
All
we
right,
have?
questions submitted. Marianne, if you could please go to board book, page 126. On the top, Agglomerated Bank of Chicago, annual administrative fee. This is the annual fee that we pay for the service of the registrar and paying agent.
What
Also-
registrar and paying agent? For our bonds?
For our 2015
Our bonds.
general obligation bond, yes. And also on that page is applied mechanical heat exchanger. The heat exchanger in boiler 1 went down at the end of last season. This is the price to purchase the heat exchanger. It still has to be installed before winter.
Do you want to expound on that? We spent a lot of time dealing with the people on the heat exchanger. I thought they were replaced when that happened.
The burners, we had new burners put in.
Oh, we had new burners,
New
not
burners,
heat exchangers?
correct.
Copy paper, there was a question on copy paper. Do we use the same, why do we use different sources? It seems to vary from department to department. The main paper purchased for the district for our copy rooms is through Midland Paper. We do use the purchasing co-op on those, but the other ones could be specialty paper ordered through the instructional coaches for the various departments. That stuff is all handled using department budgets out there, so the sources will vary.
You know, I've brought this up in a lot of different areas. Why? It says copier paper. I assume that's accurate. If we're getting a
Yes.
big discount from buying any, why are people separately buying copier paper? Why don't we just buy it at the biggest discount and get enough for everybody instead of having it all these different vendors?
If it's specialty paper, then she should.
I understand, but
she
it's just-
should
Put the
label
description
it.
as specialty
The
paper.
description different, otherwise it's coming off as if
Copy paper.
multiple
yeah.
people are buying different copy paper.
And I'm gonna keep throwing it out when John and people bring up where could we look, and we always say there's somewhere we could look. I still think we could look at a lot of different areas. I think IT is an example. There's 70 entries on people buying sticks and every kind of imaginable part for computers and backups and all that, and it's like, it seems like if we bought them all centrally with somebody like Mike Connor controlling it, we'd be getting a better discount than having everybody who wants something just buy it on their own. And I just see it, the copier just jumped out at me, because we obviously have a big account somewhere, so why is somebody else even buying copier paper? I mean,
Why
seems
is
to
it
me-
being labeled like that?
Yeah, I'll
We
have
need to find out.
I can get it labeled
Get a little more
differently,
detail.
get
Well,
more
no, I would
detail
say,
on it.
get the detail for me and you, and I could always put it in the board's Friday update.
Okay.
But if it's like invitation, if it was invitation paper for Mary Ann with the alumni achievement, that's not something we can buy through our copier wholesaler. That's like, so we should probably get a little more information on this one, but it's a good point. And I understand for accounting purposes, it makes her, the business office's life easier, like copier paper. But it does send a mixed message then to the board, like we're not using our purchasing power by Brooks Purchasing. So let's just check into that, okay?
Okay. All right, on board book page 130, with Gordon Flesh, there's two different payments. The one payment is for our monthly lease, and the other one is for our monthly usage for the copiers. So there is two different invoices. We are invoiced monthly on both of them. Board book page 131, Illinois High School District Organization Annual Dues. This is basically calculated by a base fee
Right, you missed-
plus our,
I don't remember, is this a new organization we belong to?
No, this is something I belong to, I don't know, the last 5 or 6 years.
I don't remember.
This is only high school superintendents.
Okay.
And so this was the big group that got the park eliminated and got like the SAT brought back to the high schools. So it's only high school superintendents.
Thank you. I couldn't remember that.
Okay, board book page 132 under Kiefer Flooring. This was the district's portion to get the main gym rescreened. Airmark picked up the other portion. It was 2/3, 1/3.
Even by rescreen.
They sanded it down a little bit and put a fresh coat of finish on it to try to take out some of the imperfections after.
But I thought that was part of the cost of what we hired Keeper doing to begin.
No, so the explanation for this is after our first year of use, like the scratches from our ball carts, from pulling in and out of the wrestling mats. So like we had to pay within the first year, we paid to rescreen some of it. So Kiefer was only coming in to fix the imperfections from the punch list.
Okay.
And so we had him redo the whole floor.
Oh,
So that like where the wrestling mats were being pulled out from under the stage, there were already kind of like track marks. Because if you think about it, new floor was laid, there's only one coat of varnish on a new floor. Eventually, when you get 3-4 coats of the polyurethane built up, it's a little more durable. So when we were pulling in the wrestling mats, basketball racks for PE class and stuff, there were some scratches and marks. So we had them redo the whole floor and put a set, so now we have 2 coats of poly on.
okay. Thank you.
Same page, board book 132, Lake Cook Distributors, student novels. These were novels purchased for the English department using the student fees that were collected.
Okay, I looked on their website. The books cost like $5. It's like 10,000 novels or something like that. Or we have 1,600 students. Why would we need $33,000 worth of novels? Maybe let's say $10. But almost everyone I looked at was less than $10. So that's 3,300 novels. We have 1,600 students. Did we actually buy 2 novels for every student in this school?
Yes,
This year?
Yeah.
Do we do that
That's
every
about
year?
right.
Yes, and some classes read more than that. And there's I don't know, I would say roughly a $35 fee for every English class. It might be $40. And that covers all their novels for the school year.
Okay.
Almost, and it's probably junior and senior, it's
Yeah, I think-
novel a quarter, so almost
Yeah,
I
I would
think
say
my son
4 or
is
5.
doing 5 in
Okay.
his English class.
See,
It seemed like a lot of novels.
it's a good goal.
That's good. It's a rating.
Also on board book page 132 is Life Touch background checks. Per the agreement that we signed with our photography company, the district would cover up to 5 background checks on that, so that was the difference. And that was just to protect our students, to make sure that anyone that's getting filmed at the different times was covered under a background check.
Let's try to make the vendors pay for that in the future, okay?
I know,
Okay.
that was part of it.
Sometimes I don't trust the sources they use for their background checks. And so I felt better, like when we go through the Riverside Police Department and we get the FBI and the
FBI
state
check.
police report.
Even if we do pay for it, we can always deduct off their invoice.
Exactly.
So we can get it done if you want to control who's doing the background checks, but then deduct off.
Okay. Scott, make note of that.
Yep. And that was it for the board payables. Oh, wait, hold on, I want to...
There was a question about refunds, I know that.
Yeah, it's on the checklist thing.
Okay.
But there was a question on the Spanish workbooks.
Yes, so the Spanish workbooks are probably one of our older textbook series, so they're in the process of looking at a new textbook series. They do have some online components with that textbook series, but they're not that advanced because the book had been purchased a while ago. So you'll probably see that when we present the textbook plan.
Moving on to the checklisting portion, Board Book 140, First American Bank with safety deposit box. The district puts their backup emails and the backup server data off-site. That's pretty much what's in there. Board Book 145, Village of Summit. Unfortunately, our driver's education car got a red light ticket. Didn't come to a complete stop, making a right-hand turn.
Do we know in what village?
Summit. got the paperwork with the picture and
Does the
everything. I hate to
driver
say
have to
it.
pay for that? If I get a red light ticket in a company car, I have to pay for it.
Well, if they're learning how to drive though, I don't.
I know, I
They
hate
do
to say
give
that,
that.
unfortunately, first time for our driver's ed instructor on getting anything like that.
I think, Scott, with those though, you can request an appointment because red light camera, the reason I was asking, I know red light camera tickets are not where they're held in a courthouse, they're usually held at the village hall with an adjudicator.
Okay.
And so we should submit that ticket and request a hearing and ask them to review the video and say this is a first-time student taken behind the wheel. Can we have leniency for the school district? And we might be able to get out of paying that. I wouldn't just pay that. Okay?
Board book 149, question about the Pride program. This is a new program this year for self-contained study skills classes, which services students with social and emotional issues that impact their learning. These items were necessary to get the program up and running at the start of the school year.
It's
And-
not the same Pride as the grammar school goes to the national conference. Is it that same organization?
No, Pride is a name that we came up with. It used to be called, we had two classes I presented earlier I think it was in the summer. We had our social thinking class and our social emotional learning class, and they combined to be the Pride program.
Yes, she did tell us that. Okay.
And there was a question, I'll just put it in general, about refunds that are out there. All the refunds have to do with either students who were waived, students who had schedule changes, or students transferring out of the district. All these are checked and verified based off of their free and reduced application that has been submitted, or based on the schedule changes with course fees that vary, or what were outstanding for transfer students out there.
So it's just like the time of the year?
Yeah,
Which is why
it-
there were so many?
And then you'll see some potentially with a pay to participate that may come up where they may never participate. So just keep an eye out on those.
No other questions,
No other
Scott?
questions on bills?
No
There
other
was.
question on the bills.
There were two questions about two coaches that were paid on there.
They did have, we have current background checks on those coaches that were paid. As far as,
Neither one of them were listed as coaches that we approved, though, were they?
but that was for summer camps that were generated with, that were offered during the summer for the different age levels with it. So it's more or less a volunteer.
So when you give us the, that I asked for, when you give us the break-even
Break
for
even.
summer, you'll give us the analysis for football?
Yes.
So that one person that was paid $800 who isn't a regular coach?
Yeah,
So we, in the summer, they can have whoever they want?
Yeah, I mean, the we've gone over this with the board before, like the basketball brings in the kids that are like high school age to help coach the youth camps and stuff like that. The key of the board was that they wanted, because there was so many people doing like some of those camps, we had to have a background check on file before anybody could have
Okay,
contact
so
with
everybody
kids.
has a background.
Yes,
So-
everyone has a background check, and everything was cost neutral to the district.
When will our, is that the end of this month?
The next meeting.
We'll have the
That
summer
along
camp
with
report?
along with summer school.
Okay.
Any other questions, bills?
Thank you.
Nope. All right.
Gotta take a vote.
We haven't, yeah, we already did the, go ahead, take the vote.
Ms. Sierra?
Yes.
Mr. Smithing?
Yes.
Ms. Towner?
Yes.
Mr. Welch?
Yes.
Ms. Jessica?
Yes.
Dr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Ritchie?
Yes.